anyway, it just means the world to us. And it's so cool that we get to do this thing that we love, and that you guys enjoy it too. So thank you.
So, I'm Gareth Stosdak. I live in the city of Respite, and where I ply my trade as a blacksmith. Recently, refugees from the nearby city of Beacon, a city dear to my heart as my son is enlisted there, have been pouring into Respite looking for aid and being met with suspicion and in some cases death. I ran afoul of the law recently due to circumstances outside of my control. And in exchange for my freedom, I agreed to track down an individual associated with the anarchist collective, the Brigade, named Evelyn Ryder. Along the way, I met a individual from Beacon who saw strange occurrences happening there that we still don't fully understand, who was being hunted by some, turns out to be cultists of Braemorn, a god of murder. I learned that the person that I was seeking had also run afoul of these Braemorn cultists, and so Tessina and I we sallied forth to pluck her from the bowels of the bathhouse. Successfully. But one good turn deserving another. Evelyn revealed that her job in the bathhouse was not quite done, and so we delved in, found a secret entrance to a creepy murder dungeon, and we've been working through. I think the Gareth recalls that the most one of the things that has him the most concerned in the bathhouse is discovering a body of somebody associated with the military of Beacon. And now Gareth is going around every corner with a catch in his breath against seeing his own son similarly deposed by these Braemorn freaks.
Poor Gareth.
It's horrifying.
It is horrifying. It is horrifying.
Why did you put him in this situation?
Are you ready to go? They're from a different part of the military than his son. They're a healer. Does that help? Maybe.
Maybe.
Are you ready to go to the dungeon?
I'm so ready to go to the dungeon.
Okay, let me get us there. Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
I thought the music would change. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, sorry. Oh, I just had it wrong the first time. Okay, sorry, everyone.
Ooh. Spooky and scary.
So, Gareth, you've been traveling through the dungeon, and you have come back to this kind of central hall that you first entered. So you came through the hallway and were met with 3 doors, each of which bore a resemblance to one of the 3 deities whose cultists work and live under this bathhouse. And so the final door before you belongs to
Rekka.
the god of lies, trickery, and deceit.
Uh-oh.
And so the door depicts a humanoid-ish figure behind several masks. So it has kind of multi-heads spread around. And then the face underneath is kind of leering and scary. So is there anything that you would like to do before proceeding down this hallway? You, just to kind of review, you've looked down the hallway and it seems to kind of descend with sets of stairs, but other than that, it kind of descends into darkness.
I think Gareth will turn to his party, Evelyn and Tessina, and say, Evelyn, does any of this look familiar to you?
I'm sorry, I can't remember. I remember there being water nearby, but we've already passed through several flooded caverns. But I think where they were holding me, there was more water. But I still haven't. The stones they were using, I haven't seen, so I'm not sure.
Evelyn, when you come into proximity of these stones, can you feel it at a distance?
To some extent, yes, but and she kind of gestures to the cuts like on her arms that are visible. You would assume that there are others. So she kind of gestures to those and says, but after enough time, I couldn't use my magic, and it's been almost as though the stones are ever present. Not as bad as when we were there, but close.
Right. One last thing, Evelyn. Do you recall the circumstances of your taking? And she may have told this to Gareth last week, but Jonathan doesn't remember.
Okay, I don't know if they had a chance to. I don't know if we RP'd that. So, I was outside of the Elf Song Tavern on my way to investigate this other pub where I heard they have been meeting. I could have waited for other members of the brigade, but I decided to go off alone. And all of a sudden, I was surrounded and knocked unconscious. And then the next thing I knew, I woke up in a dungeon. I've heard others' voices. I know that there are others I know here, but I don't know where they are. I'm sorry, she didn't mean to say that there are others she knows there, but she's heard other people like in the dungeons who need help.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sorry. Got a little confused with my world building.
Okay. Gareth is going to say to Tessina, that woman we found in the other room, the one from Beacon, if they had her, if they have my son. And he kind of trails off, and I think decisively making a decision, he's going to stride forward and throw open the door and proceed into the hallway towards the stairs. And he's going to be on the lookout for anything unusual or, we're listening, we're going carefully.
Okay, are you going quietly?
As quietly as Gareth can manage with his chainmail.
Okay, do you want to roll a stealth check for me?
On it. Stealth. Boom. 9. Not the worst he's rolled.
Not terrible. Yeah. Okay. And Tessina kind of runs up behind you and tugs on your sleeve and whispers, Gareth, why do you think that your son is here?
I hope he's not here.
I hope he is not either. This is not a good place to be.
No, it sucks here. But I don't anticipate that he's here. But if he is, then I have to make sure that he's not.
Well, we'll just get him out if he is.
Yes. Mace out, shield up.
Athena smiles like she's done such a good job of solving this problem. Obviously, she has. Okay, mace out, shield up. You're going down the hallway. And so Tessina has the lantern that you guys have picked up from the bathhouse upstairs. And so she's kind of holding that up in the middle. Let me light up a little bit more of this map for you. You hear dripping up ahead. And so you come to this kind of first set of stairs and it goes down, and you can see down to the next set of stairs ahead of you that descends into, I think, about 2.5 feet of water. And you hear, roll a perception check.
Perception check incoming. I don't hear much.
You don't hear much. I'll say as you get a little bit closer then. Do you keep going into the room? Mm-hmm. Oops. Okay. As you guys keep going, actually, let me check for them. Feeling well. You know, we're just getting started. Yeah. You guys don't really hear anything over the kind of splashing up ahead.
Perfect. We sally forth.
Okay. So do you go into this room?
We'll go into the next room.
All right. So as you step into this flooded chamber, you overhear a conversation. So this kind of anxious sounding man, you hear his voice echoing over the water. I told you he wouldn't be susceptible to them to the same way that she was. And then you hear a gruff female voice answer, there's no harm in trying, was there? And then over this, you hear kind of a muffled scream. And the woman says, well, at least we know that works on just about anyone. And the kind of screaming continues.
Do I hear so the voices are coming from the room ahead of me, and the screams, are they also in the room, or are they coming from a different direction or further away?
The screams are also coming from in the room.
Okay. So I will confer very quickly with the team, and I'm going to do something awesome.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so I would like to...
That man sounds like he needs our help.
Yes. Let's do it. And I cast guidance on myself and rush in.
Cool. Okay. Are you trying to be sneaky now, or are you just rushing?
Rushing.
Okay. Gareth, maybe go ahead and take your movement, and then I will tell you what you see in this room.
Ooh. 5, 10, 15. Look at these sketchos.
Yeah, they're being super sketchy. Can I tell you about what they're doing?
Yes, please. I rush in. I've got my shield. I think it's like glowing a little bit with my guidance cantrip. And
nice.
Yeah.
You rush in. splashing through the water. This room is unlit, flooded, and braced with floor-to-ceiling wooden beams. Rough-hewn steps rise out of the murky water to the western portion of this room, which is dry and lit by 2 torches in sconces that flank a stone altar. Shackled to the wall behind the altar is a sickly man in a loincloth with a burlap sack over his head. An alcove in the north wall contains a freestanding suit of plate armor missing its helm. Standing before the altar are 2 grim figures, a powerfully built woman clutching a mace, and an even bigger man wearing a bucket helm. The helmed man is jabbing the prisoner with a spear, causing him to twitch. Both figures are clad in chainmail, and the woman carries a wooden shield with a leering skull painted on it.
Ooh.
What do you do, Gareth? They kind of turn and look as you come splashing in.
Okay, I'm going to, as I come running up, I'm going to shout. I'm gonna shout. I think I can do command maybe.
Cool.
Okay, we're gonna try that. I'm gonna run forward, and I'm going to hold my shield to the side with one and point my mace at him, and I'm going to say, "Grovel!"
And you're talking to the man?
I'm talking to the man
You're telling to grovel.
Like jabbing the person with the spear.
Cool.
So that's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Ooh, wait. I don't think I have any spells left. Maybe I can't do that.
Okay, do you want to check?
Yeah, this says I used all my spells. Okay, never mind. I rush in, and I'm going to...
Make sure that you used all your spells? You
only
had
have
3, right?
Yeah. I used a Cure Wounds on Evelyn, and I think I used a Searing Smite in the first room.
And a command on the imp.
And a command on the imp. Boom, 2nd level. Those spells just go.
It's hard, yeah.
So...
Okay, what would you like to do instead?
I come rushing in, and I drop to one knee and throw the shield down in front of me, and I reach over the shield and take a shot at the dude with my crossbow.
Cool.
So here we go with that.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Ooh! Critical hit!
Ooh, how exciting! Okay. Okay, his AC is 16. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter because you rolled a crit. Okay, great.
So he takes at least 6 points of 5 points of damage. It rolled a 1 for me, so I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. With 5 points of damage. Sorry, I moved him so I could get to his bubble. He's not actually moving, so I couldn't get to his health. Okay, so you throw your shield down, take a shot at the man over your shield.
Yep.
And where did you hit him with your arrow for this critical hit?
I would like to... You said he's wearing like a bucket helm?
Mm-hmm. They're both wearing chainmail.
Okay. I guess I would try to be aiming for a chink in the chainmail, whether maybe his calves are not grieved, or maybe a spot, maybe a loose piece between the bucket helm and the chainmail, right? Like in the back of the shoulder.
Yeah, I like in the neck.
Yeah,
back of the shoulder. Perfect. So he kind of tries to duck out of the way, doesn't quite make it in time, and your arrow pierces in the side of his neck. And he kind of cries out and glares back at you. I think that we need to roll initiative.
I think we do need to roll initiative. Let's see. Gareth, initiative. A whopping 5.
Okay. It's okay.
And I'll roll for Tessina as well.
Hmm. Oh, wait, where'd my thing go? Five.
So Tessina rolled
Right.
a 12. No, an 11, sorry.
Good. Okay. Where did she go? Here she is. 11. Evelyn needs to roll. So you said if I hit, okay, here. Oh no, Evelyn. We rolled a 1. So we
Good.
get a 4. That's kind of a bummer. That guy rolled Iron Console. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm not getting them backwards. I have 6. So they didn't roll great. And this one, though, rolled a 15. That's kind of a bummer. Okay. Is that everybody?
I think so.
Oh, shoot. And we want to be in descending order. Okay. So the woman is going to go first, followed by Tessina, and then Armored Dude, Gareth, then you, and then Evelyn.
Okay.
That work for everybody?
Perfect.
Cool. Okay. So the lady is going to actually, Gareth, come kind of running at you with her mace, with a cry, since you have attacked her dungeon. So she comes running down the stairs straight at you. Ah! Does a 20 hit?
Oh my gosh, yes. My AC is 19.
Sorry. Okay, she does 4 points of bludgeoning damage as she wails into you around your shield.
4 points of bludgeoning damage. I think Gareth is a little bit kind of taken aback by the ferocity of her assaults.
I'm sorry. They're torturing someone, so they're pretty sketchy.
Real quick, as I ran in, did I see any like on the altar or in these people's possession, did I see any of that dark stone that had so afflicted Evelyn earlier?
Roll a perception check.
I will roll that perception check. That perception check is going to be 20.
Woo! Okay, so yes, as you kind of glance around the room, and I think this is why she ended up hitting you, because you kind of caught right as you got in. I don't know if Gareth knows about dark stones. I don't know that Evelyn told you that it was a dark stone, but you know she's been attacked by something. And you see lined across the altar these long slabs of a black onyx stone that appears sharp along the edge. There are kind of trails of blood off of the altar. And you also heard kind of a wheezing gasp as you ran into the room. And so Evelyn has kind of doubled up right behind you, hand clutching her chest, like struggling to breathe a little bit.
That's probably why she rolled a 1.
I don't think it helped, yeah. Okay, it is Tessina's turn.
Okay, Tessina is going to look at the situation, look at Gareth being assaulted, and she is going to... I think she's going to do Toll the Dead on that bad guy.
Oh. Okay, that sounds awesome.
So let me pull up Toll the Dead real fast.
So does he need to...
It's some kind of save. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw, and her spell save is DC 13.
Well, they're not 20.
Of course.
So they got a 24.
That's crazy. So she is going to. So yeah, I think reaches out and kind of channeling some of the hurt that Gareth has already done to him, because Toll the Dead works better on people that are already hurt. She tries to kind of. I think some shadowy stuff kind of tries to find its way into that wound, but evidently he resists it. So I think she's going to then. I think she's going to run down here, if you could move her for me. And is this a pillar? Is this a column?
Yeah, these are all 4 columns. Gareth, you're kind of standing between these floor-to-ceiling columns. They're made of wood. They are not necessarily native to these structures.
Okay. As to scene.
So they're very much part of the room. If you want to do something to them, you can. It's not like you're standing next to. You're standing next to a wooden pillar. You're not standing next to a stone column that's a native piece of this dungeon.
Okay. And you said they were floor to ceiling.
Yes.
And can Tessina determine, are they like holding up the ceiling? Like if they were hurt or damaged, would that bring this thing down, or is that more than she can
Very
do?
Possible.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So you guys have been in the dungeon long enough. You can, and Tessina knows that, yes, if these were to hypothetically crumble to the ground, or someone was to knock the pillars over, there's a very good chance that the ceiling will fall.
Scary. Cool. So then she'll end her turn.
Okay, cool. It is now Azira's turn, who is this person up here. He is going to be really horrible, step forward, and with his spear, take this guy the rest of the way out. So you see they've been kind of jabbing at this man. He has shallower wounds, but lots of blood. And yeah, you see him kind of puncture this guy's stomach as hard as he can. And the guy kind of gurgles on the wall, and you see his body go limp.
How terrible, Gareth yells out, "No!" And he's really mad.
And it's his turn.
Cool. Oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? What a terrible situation. This dungeon is scary. There are people killing people. Okay. We are going to... I'm going to take forever, real fast.
You're fine.
Okay, so I think that Gareth is going to... he's gonna like kind of burst up from behind his shield and like throw his shield back and try to whop this lady on the head with his mace.
That sounds awesome. Roll your attack.
15 to hit for 6 bludgeoning damage.
Doesn't hit.
15 doesn't hit?
She also has a shield.
Oh, okay.
And chainmail. Her AC is 18. She's still not as good as you. But yeah, she as you kind of draw back your shield, she raises hers and wham. Gareth, you notice as it splashes back up at you, her shield is coated in fresh blood in the shape of a skull.
Yeah, gross. Gareth is going to use his movement to kind of circle around, inviting Evelyn to flank her if she so chooses. And he is going to... It sucks that he can't help this person that just got stabbed to death, because he doesn't have a spell slot for healing word or anything. So he's going to end his turn.
Gareth, if I can remind you, you have 2 at least healing potions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need those for yourself...
Are we going to do the rapid quaffing rules for bonus action?
Rapid quaffing rules, yes. You don't have to, but if you wanted to do that, I'm fine with Gareth taking a healing potion as his bonus action. I don't know how you are health wise.
I'm at half, almost half. Yeah, I mean, like, I will go ahead and take one of those too. So it's 2d4 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 plus 2 is 7. So I'll heal 7 points from my quaffing.
Wow, that's
That
better.
does feel better.
Evelyn, kind of with a glare, recognizing that this is the room where she had been held before, or at least with a pretty good idea. And Gareth, you hear her kind of mumble under her voice, "I recognize your voices," and she is going to slash out at this person. Oh no, I did it wrong. I rolled an 18. I want to. Oh, here's how I roll in the thing. Oh, even better. Okay. So Evelyn rolled a 20 to hit for 7 points of slashing damage.
Love it. Get it, Evelyn.
Okay, let me injure this person. Cool. So that's her, like, she kind of takes a slash at this person for her turn. Oh, she should have rolled with advantage. Do you care if I do that really fast?
Please. In case she gets the nat 20.
Just in case. You never know. Yeah. Okay. And Garrett, now that you've had a chance to look around the room, you see like a kind of pile of materials on top of which is a scimitar that you think might belong to Evelyn.
Okay, cool. Is that on the altar, or is that like in this star?
Sorry, so the star is where the suit of armor
is. That's right. I remember.
I think so maybe in this other corner where where there's not a body, but kind of looking, you can see it seems that this is probably where they had Evelyn hanging before the imp came to get her.
Cool. I don't like these guys.
I don't either. They're really bad. Okay, is this okay though?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let me change to more exciting music since we are skirmishing.
Dun 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 dun.
Better?
Nice.
Okay. All right. So, Yignath is our other person.
Ignath.
It's weird. Oh, I guess that's not it. They have the names backwards on my little things. Sorry. Anyway, doesn't matter. She is going to kind of look between the two of you and turns to Evelyn.
No.
And says, I didn't think you'd come back. And she's going to take a swing at Evelyn for her turn with her mace. Oh my gosh, she rolls so well. Rolled a 23.
Wow.
So she does 4 points of bludgeoning damage to Evelyn.
Poor Evelyn.
I know. So Evelyn kind of in pain. Somehow I'm going to get you to tell me. Oh, I see. Damage. Okay. I've got it for next time. I hit the wrong button on D&D Beyond. But it's Tessina's turn.
Tessina. Oh, goodness, Tessina.
Gareth, you've stepped out of the water, but Evelyn, this woman, and Tessina are all standing in knee-deep stagnant water.
Okay. I think Tessina is going to... I'm going to try one more Toll the Dead, but this one is going to target the woman, since Gareth managed to bop her in the last turn. So she needs to do a Wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
Awesome. Oops, that's not Wisdom. She rolled a 4.
Awesome. So that's going to be a D12. Let's roll that D12.
Cool.
Ooh, 12.
Amazing.
Yeah, so Tessina kind of feeling out with her magical powers this wound that Gareth has made, and Ignidance. What's her name? Igtar?
Oh, Yignath? It should be Kazira, and then this guy should be Ignath, but their nameplates are switched, so I keep getting them backwards.
She reaches out, and I think where he kind of bopped her, she's gonna like kind of exacerbate that wound with her magic.
Cool. And so Kazira kind of grabs her head and screams and like kneels towards the ground as that did quite a bit of damage. So she looks rough.
Nice. Quick question for Tessina: is this a door behind her?
Yes, there is a door behind Tessina.
What does that door look like?
It looks like a regular wooden door. It doesn't seem like there's anything really important happening there. Although Tessina, it smells worse over here than it has other places in the dungeon.
Okay. Good to know.
Have Tessina roll an either an intelligence or check or a wisdom check.
Just a straight intelligence or wisdom?
Does she have any proficiencies in those? Like, I'd be fine with perception.
Yeah, we'll do perception. So this will be D20 plus 3. A whopping 8.
Okay. It smells bad, and there's like something at the back of your mind, Tessina, where you recognize what the smell is. It's sulfury in a way, but you can't quite put your finger on it. It's not good, but you're not sure what exactly it is.
Okay. Cool. I was thinking about having her move down this hallway, but I think instead she's going to kind of hang out where she is. And that'll end her turn.
Awesome. Good turn, Tessina.
Yeah, 12 points of damage with a cantrip. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So Gareth, this person is going to run over and they're going to attack you.
I'm gonna, as he comes over, I'm gonna say, "Murderer!"
Awesome. Do you want to roll an intimidation check?
Sure. A 10.
Okay. Gareth kind of runs at you with this super bloody spear. This is so unfair. They're rolling so well. You rolled a 23 again.
That just barely hits.
Okay, well, he does 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So yeah, he kind of jabs it into your side. But it is your turn.
Woo. Okay, I'm going to... as much as I want to attack Buckethead, I'm going to try to finish off the lady, and so I'll be attacking with advantage with my mace.
Nice.
Here we go. 21 with 9 points of damage. So we'll take that 9 points of damage.
It's amazing. Yep, she looks bad. She's like bleeding pretty profusely, and you see her kind of like wheezing for breath a little bit. Exciting.
Yes.
Sorry. It's still your turn.
Well, I was just debating on moving, but this works pretty well. Hopefully Evelyn can finish her off, so he'll stay put and end his turn.
Okay, and you are shielding Tessina from this person. You are like kind of fighting on stairs right now, which I think would look extra cool.
Yes, it's all about looking cool, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do something, might as well be that. So Evelyn, kind of with a shout, is going to roll with advantage. I don't think she hits. Yeah, Kazira like blocks Evelyn's slash with her dagger with her shield, and it kind of clangs off to the side, which is a bummer.
Womp womp.
I know, and she in turn swings her mace at Evelyn again, but roll the nat 1.
Nice. She probably drops her shield, which would lower her AC, probably.
Perfect. Yeah, so she almost perfect. Yeah. How would you drop your shield and it just falls off your arm? Or it slips? Maybe she falls in the gross water, and like pops back up, no shield, just a mace.
Sounds good.
Covered in filth.
Gross.
Really, really mean that one. Perfect. Okay. So that was her turn. It is now Tessina's turn.
I think that Tessina is going to seize the moment and get up close and personal and try to finish off this person.
Tessina.
So she's going to attack with her scimitar, +4 to hit, and if she hits, the d6 +2. So I rolled a 2. Is she attacking with advantage since she's got this person surrounded, or not so much? Sweet.
Sure. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
They are shielded. Oh no. Okay, so she also splashes forward in the water, almost slips on the shield. It's just beneath the water, causing more problems. Does she want to use her bonus action?
Oh yeah, she has a bonus action. Yeah, she can attack with a dagger, right?
She has a scimitar and a dagger?
Yes, but I don't think she gets to add her proficiency bonus, just her dexterity bonus, right?
No.
17!
Ooh, that hits now that she's shieldless. Full damage.
2 points of damage.
Nice. That's a lot for when you're on super, super low. So this lady is not dead, but she's like really, really close. I'm so sorry. Okay, Gareth, this man with the bloody spear. Now it's with your blood. Oh, sorry. Tessina is over here now, right?
Yes.
Is going to kind of chuckle at you just to be creepy and then take his attack.
Does it sound weird coming out from the bucket helmet?
It does a little bit.
Hollow?
Yeah, I think so. It would be scary if it didn't look like he'd just taken it randomly off of the suit of armor across the thing, because it doesn't quite go with his chainmail. So Gareth, he tries to hit you with an 11.
Yeah, I just bashed that aside with my shield.
Awesome. His giggle falls a little bit flat. It's your turn. Oh my
gosh, I'm gonna try to finish off this this shieldless lady. 9 points of bludgeoning damage. So 16 to hit. 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
If you kill her, how do you want to do this?
I think as she kind of bats aside Tessina's attack with the scimitar, and Tessina's able to kind of like scratch her pretty good with the dagger, Gareth is just going to say, "Enough!" and clock her in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah. So the back of her head kind of like erupts in blood, and she falls into the water, and it kind of over her.
Gross. And then I'm I'm gonna move around dude.
Mm-hmm.
And all the while be still trying to attract his, I want his attention to be on me, and so I'll be kind of,
Okay.
I'll clang the shield with my mace, and I think that Gareth would growl at him. You're next.
Cool. Do you want to do anything else?
I think that's my turn.
Okay. Evelyn is going to step a little bit further forward. But Gareth, you can tell now that you have a good shot at her that getting closer to the altar is really starting to bother her. And so you see her kind of seize up, and she's going to I don't have the right thing, but she has one of Tessina's daggers that she's going to toss. It shouldn't actually be -1. It should be 6. Sorry, I'm just going to roll it because I'm confusing myself. 11 plus her dexterity. Okay. It's 16, which I think is this guy's AC. Perfect. Yeah. So Evelyn, this dagger kind of embeds itself right in this guy's ribs where there's a kind of weak spot, and she does 6 points of damage, which is really cool. Hey, Evelyn.
Hey, Evelyn.
And this guy looks rough now as well.
Okay.
And so it's now Tessina's turn.
I think Tessina is going to be super grossed out by the dead cultist in front of her, but she's going to pull herself together, and she's going to... I think she's going to try another Toll the Dead.
Okay. He needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
DC 13.
7.
Ooh. So he'll take a D12 of damage. 6. Nice middle of the road.
He looks terrible. So Gareth, he kind of cries out and falls down in front of you, like on a knee. It is his turn. So he's going to try, like... have you been saying anything to him besides you're next?
I don't know. I think that I was just thinking that, like, would Gareth be saying, like, yield scum, or, like, but he just watched this dude stick a spear into this guy that was helplessly hanging from the wall. I don't know if Gareth is in a merciful mood, so I think Gareth is on a path right now. And at the end of that path is this guy's bloody dead body.
Well, he, from his position, kind of stabs back up at you. Does a 9 hit?
It doesn't. I think Gareth, kind of like just as the spear is coming up at him, he just like grabs the shaft of it with his shield hand.
And it's your turn.
He'll pull the spear towards him and smack him with a mace.
Oh,
I hope this works.
me too.
Crit!
Hey!
I don't know what that means. If it's like 8 plus 3 plus 4, or what it is.
Should be 8 times 2 plus 3, right? It doesn't matter. This guy's dead. You clock him across the head. He really just needed 5. What a good time for a nat 20.
Yeah, I think that Gareth would, he kind of like, I think he just like sees red in the moment, and I think he probably smashes at the bucket, until like, I mean, there's like, mist, and it's like I don't know, it's like if you wrapped a watermelon in tinfoil and then smashed it.
Yeah. So Gareth, you hear kind of over, you're like, Gareth, I think that he is dead.
I think he would be a little bit embarrassed, kind of coming out of the rage, and then he's going to say to Tessina, indicating the guy on the wall, "Is there anything to be done?"
We'll try. And so she kind of goes over. I think that music will pick up in just a second. So she kind of goes over and lays a hand on your shoulder and says, "It is hard to tell in the helmet." And she like really gently unties the hood from the person on the wall. Gareth, roll a perception check.
Perception. 20.
You recognize this figure as Maverick, who you met during our session 0.
No.
Do you want to roll Tessina's medicine check?
Yes. Poor Maverick. Medicine is intelligence or wisdom?
It's intelligence.
Okay. This is a straight D20. 17 for Tessina.
I think that Tessina kind of closes her eyes and puts both of her hands alongside the figure's face and says, I think that his spirit is gone. And Gareth, you hear from the other side of the altar where you see Evelyn kind of like clutching at her chest, backing slowly away from the area. They did have Maverick down here.
I think Gareth is very upset. So he's going to... I think he's going to like kind of give a shout and like bash the stuff off the table. He doesn't want to get it any closer to Tessina or Maverick or Evelyn, you know, like maybe just kind of fling it into maybe this corner or something. But he's very upset. And he's gonna say to Tessina after he takes a deep breath, "Can you help Evelyn with her stuff?" And kind of indicate the kind of pile of stuff that we said was over there. And he's gonna gently take Maverick off the wall and
Sweet.
kind of lay him down.
Okay. Yeah. So Tessina carefully gathers Evelyn's things, and you see some like leather armor, and it's like a dark red. Like it's not very subtle, but this dark red leather armor, and you see like a long curved scimitar and several daggers and a hand axe that she kind of takes over and helps Evelyn get dressed. And Evelyn just has like her back turned to where you are. Do you just lay out Maverick in this room, or?
Yeah, I think that. I don't know. Like, is the altar like super gross, or like after having cleared it, would it be an okay place to respectfully put somebody?
I think it'd be an okay place. I mean, this is a place where they've been torturing people, but it's not like the gross altar with the bones that you found earlier in the
Like
dungeon.
the entrails
So,
and whatnot.
Right.
So yeah, Gareth will kind of lay out Maverick and like, you know, close his eyes and put his hands over his chest and
And Gareth, as you move Maverick's hands, you find kind of something kind of catches onto your hand. He's wearing a ring, which you had noticed before, but there's a small piece of paper kind of buried under the ring.
Oh. Okay. I'll take that. And I think before I do, I think that he would just say, kind of to the room. He helped me when no one else would. He put himself in danger to pluck me from the clutches of the city, and he died a horrible death for it. There's no justice here. And he just like shakes his head.
Okay. Evelyn says, like that, and there's not, and there hasn't been for a long time. And poor baby Tessina just looks back and forth between you and doesn't know what to say.
Gareth is gonna say, I knew things were not right, but this is my fault. I should have cared more. I should have been more involved. I think that he just kind of like trails off from there, and I think he would take the ring and bring it over to Evelyn and say, he had this, and I think we'll both look at it.
Okay. She kind of like looks at me to your eye and smiles and slips the ring onto her thumb. So you unroll the piece of paper, and it just says in this like kind of swooping hand, Cleodna's bounty. Roll an intelligence check, Gareth.
Cleodna's bounty. Oh, with a K, even better. Straight intelligence?
Uh-huh. Actually, intelligence or religion would be fine.
Okay. They're both straight rolls for me. We're very middle of the road today.
Okay. That's okay. This one did not have a high DC. So, Gareth, you actually remember Cleodna is the goddess of the sea. But you know that there is a ship that somewhat wrecked, somewhat parked too far inland in in respite. And so it was brought ashore. It was no longer seaworthy, but it wasn't totally destroyed. And so it was brought ashore and kind of dragged closer to the city. And so just outside of the city's outer walls, there is a leaning ship that is a tavern called Cleodna's Bounty.
And Gareth would turn to Evelyn. Is this another place that the brigade calls home?
No, we avoid it, but the last time I saw Maverick, he was trying to figure out where all of these people were working. I had clues about this bathhouse and who might be running it, and I knew it. Another tavern was involved. I think that has to be what Maverick found. I don't think this is your fault, Gareth. I think it is mine. I think he came here looking for me.
When I was taken by the city, Maverick and the brigade stopped them, and we fled until the Night Watch caught up with us, and I thought that the Night Watch had taken them in or killed them. But now I think that perhaps the Night Watch is involved with these Braymorn cultists on some level. Perhaps. If there's anyone else here, we have to get them out. We have to do whatever we can. Is it okay with you if we leave
Agreed.
Maverick here for now?
He would have wanted that, yeah.
Gareth is like way sadder about Maverick being dead than I thought he would be. He's going to go over and after a moment he's going to look at this suit of armor. Is there anything special about it?
Would you like to roll a perception check?
Yes. I'd like to use maybe I could use my proficiency in, I've got all my...
You want to use Arcana?
I've got all my, like, forging goodness background thing. So maybe I could do, could I do,
Okay.
would it be okay with you if I did perception and added, like, my proficiency modifier?
Sure.
So 14 plus 2 would be 16 to see what's up with this armor.
Okay. So, Gareth, as you look at this armor, the different pieces are welded together, but the gauntlets are detachable.
Okay.
So as they kind of come off in your hand, they're lighter than it feels like they should be. And they start to actually like kind of tremble in your hand.
Ooh. I do have identify as a ritual, so if I spend some time with them and I kind of probed them with some of my Vulcan god goodness, maybe I could find out what they are.
Sure. Do you stay where you are and do that?
Yes, I think that would take 10 minutes, if that's okay, as everybody kind of collects themselves.
Yeah. Evelyn says, I'm going to go explore this tunnel. So she's going to go. So the room you're in is flooded. Gareth, you're up on a pedestal that's out of the water. There were steps right where you were fighting the one in the mask that lead back down into the water. And you caught a glimpse around the corner. It looked like there were more steps leading up out of it. And so you hear some like slow footsteps splashing.
I would definitely admonish Evelyn to be careful and to, not
I'll go with
stray
her.
too far.
So Tessina kind of splashes after Evelyn. And you hear, as you're kind of doing your ritual, back kind of behind your head, you hear the splashing grow closer. And you can kind of assume that the door leads back in kind of a loop. And you especially guess so as you hear Evelyn wince in the hallway and start back the other way.
From the Blackstone?
Mm-hmm.
These are stairs, is that right? They just go
yes,
into that
those
tunnel?
are stairs. Yes.
Okay.
That lead down into that tunnel. So Gareth, these are cool. I'm changing the mechanics of what they've written just a little bit since just the two of us. But they are. You get the sense from these gauntlets that they can be enchanted to function as flying swords in a way. So they'd be kind of flying gauntlets. And so it would be possible to enchant them to attack something or someone who was doing something or invading a space that they're not supposed to be in.
So do I need to work with them to make them do that, or is that something that they do?
You get the sense that you could, given time to kind of sit and work with them, get them to work for you to where you could set them as traps if you wanted.
Flying hands trap.
Flying hands trap.
Wow, okay. Weird. And the armor otherwise, though, it's ornamental largely?
Yeah. The rest of it, I mean, since it's welded together, it doesn't seem to be very special or necessarily functional. I mean, you could take it if you wanted and see about reforging it into plate mail if that's something that that Gareth wants, but otherwise it's just a regular suit of armor.
Okay. And I would like to, with Evelyn kind of down the hall, I'm going to go look at this Darkstone stuff and try to figure out if I can learn or glean anything about it, its properties. And I'd be interested to know if Gareth thought that if he had a piece of Darkstone in his pocket, is that going to, one piece of Darkstone, is that going to hurt Evelyn for Gareth to have any of it?
Okay. Do you want to roll another perception check for me?
Yeah.
And you can add your it's a really metallic stone. You can add your proficiency bonus. That was investigation. Do you want to roll? Did you mean to roll? Okay, better. So, with your, what would that be? 17 perception. You pick up one of these stones, and it is kind of like a really hard flint type of stone that's been sharpened, and so it's like a bone knife or something along those lines. But you, especially as you handle it, your fingertips start to go kind of numb, and it just has this really chilling effect. But as you look at it, you can kind of hear in the corners of the room, and the shadows deepen where you are. The light decreases.
Okay, gross. Okay, I'm that's evil. I'm good on that, so I'm just gonna leave that there.
Okay. And you did hear the people who were torturing Maverick say that it wasn't affecting him the same way that you would assume they were saying it was affecting Evelyn.
Okay.
Cool. So, Gareth, you have two different directions that you can go. You can meet your lady companions in the tunnel where they are. You can go to this door that Tessina found.
Yeah, I think that I'll move the Darkstone as far away, maybe in this behind the suit of armor or something, as possible, and I'll.
There's several. I mean, they've got 10 different ones laid out. That's blades of all different sizes and thicknesses.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I missed which way you wanted to go.
Oh, and I'll splash down and meet the ladies. And I'll ask Tessina about what she thought was behind that door. Tessina, do you have any idea what was behind that door?
Whatever it is, it smells terrible. But I don't know if that is the same thing. It smells different than the rest of the tunnels. Kind of heavy and gross. Gareth, roll an intelligence check.
Intelligence. So intelligent. 17.
So, having studied blacksmithery and some of the different kind of ways of working with or developing fire, and then as you say this to Tessina and glancing down and seeing the lantern in her hand, it occurs to you that you haven't seen anyone with a torch in the entire dungeon. And so the smell that she's describing may actually be from a gas buildup underground. which is why it might be thicker in some places or heavier or stinkier in some places than others.
Okay. I'll relay that. Be careful with that torch flame. And then we'll turn down this hall.
Are you going left or right?
We're going down this way.
Okay, cool. You guys will be fine with the lantern that Tessina has. Because it's enclosed, but yeah, she'll be extra careful. So you go down the hall and you encounter a door.
A door? What does the door look like?
Mm-hmm. This is also a relatively plain-looking wooden door.
Can I listen at is there like a keyhole or a doorknob that I can listen at and see if I can glean any information about what might be on the other side?
Yeah, it's just kind of a regular, like, pull the knob type of door, but it does look like the boards have warped a little bit, so there's some space through the different sides. So roll a perception check.
15.
Okay. You hear a distinct mumbling from the other side of muttering, murmuring, some sort of kind of rhythmic chant type of thing. Not a rhythmic chant, sorry, but more muttering. You hear one voice on the other side of the door.
It makes me think of the wackos with the skeleton lanterns. And I'm going to say, ladies, and I'm going to kick the door in.
Wow. Okay. Let me get this room revealed. So, Gareth, you kick the door in. It opens onto two different parts for you. So you kick the door in. There's there's a hallway to the right and one straight ahead of you. The one straight ahead of you curves in the same kind of stone chamber that you've seen. The other opens up to the side, and you see this gaunt woman in a hood bending over a body that's laid out on a table.
Oh, gosh.
And there are rats.
Are there 8 rats or 12 rats?
12 rats. No, I'm just kidding. So she does have some rat skeletons kind of skittering around and popping over her feet as she kind of mutters and does her investigation. But with your wham entrance into the room, the woman doing this experimenting kind of spins around and looks at you. I'm assuming you stepped through the door after you kicked it open.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I would say, stop what you're doing.
So she kind of looks up at you through these, her eyes are huge because she has these kind of zoom in spectacle type of things.
Love it.
And with a scalpel and the little prong things that hold things open.
Yeah. Like forceps.
It looks up at you. Yes, thank you.
She doesn't say anything.
Sorry, I was trying to decide if she was going to say something or if she was just going to be surprised. Who are you? My pretties, who is that?
Gareth is going to say, what unholy thing are you doing here?
And she kind of pushes the glasses back and has another set of thick spectacles, but she now has these kind of knob-looking things on the top of her head as she moves them back. And there are all sorts of flames. It smells weird in here. like flames on the table, and you see something that looks like it was part of the body that's not part of the body anymore off to the side. I am doing important work to see where the magic comes from.
I'm going to say to her, if you value your life, you'll step away from that body. And I'm going to indicate the corner to the northeast.
She takes like a step and says, do you know where it comes from?
Gareth is going to take a wary
Do you step into the room?
Yeah.
There are more of you. You all have it. Takes another step.
I'm going to say, if you value your life, you'll back towards me. And I'm going to take out some loops of hempen rope, and I'm going to say, I don't want to kill you, but I will if I have to. If you make me, I'm going to tie you up. And so I'm going to try to get her to back towards me, and I'm going to try to get her to let me tie her up.
Okay. Roll either an intimidation or a persuasion check with advantage because you have backup and you have the magic.
Ooh. Ooh. That's a nat 20. We'll take the nat 20.
Awesome. Good. So she kind of cowers against the wall. Okay. And she turns and puts her hands behind her back.
So I'm going to... I think Gareth is kind of making a show of being gruff, but I think he's actually kind of a secret sweetie pie. And so he's going to bind her hands and then try to bind her. Are these wooden pillars or stone pillars in the room?
They're wooden.
Do they look sturdy enough to hold this old lady?
Yes.
So he's going to tie her to that post, and he's going to say,
Okay.
keep your friends away from me. The
rats kind of look up and like into Cena, like, and you hear her like whispering something that you can't understand. And the rats kind of, and they stay over by the lady. My friends will untie me at some point with their teeth.
I just kind of keep one wary eye on her before I want to go look at this dead body. Is Tessina trying to talk to me?
She was going to say, it's weird in here. And Evelyn says, I'll watch her. You can investigate that.
Yeah, and so I'll go over and investigate the body that she was working on over there.
Okay. Roll an investigation check or a perception check.
I think this would fall under investigation, even though it's worse. Ooh, wait. Can I have said, I rolled a 2, but as I went over there to investigate, I think he would say, by the flame in the forge, and do his guidance cantrip on himself.
Okay.
So that adds a d4. Ooh, so a total of 6.
Okay. Gareth, in front of you is a dead body.
I can determine that much.
You can determine that much. From what some of what you've seen before, you find a familiar necklace of a sun on this body, and you can tell that this is also a member of the Army of Light from Beacon. And the body has white robes too, and so that kind of helps to confirm that for you.
Can I determine how this person died? Can I do like a medicine check or something?
Sure, you can do that. Is enough. So as you kind of examine, you see some pretty severe like slash wounds on the person's chest and a cut in their like stomach area. So you would guess that they bled to death at some point. And the old woman says, I keep telling them to be more careful with my specimens, but they won't listen to me.
I think Gareth is pretty upset again about like finding another person from Beacon killed unnecessarily. So I think he's going to step over to her threateningly, and he's going to say, why did you kill her? Why did you cut her open?
She was dead when they brought her to me. I was merely going to find out how she was magical, where it lives in the body. I need to know. And then her body was going to serve as a great purpose for the Lord Zartman.
Ooh. So Gareth is going to say, tell me what Zarmev wants with the body.
A zombie.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to jot down a note.
And Tessina kind of walks over with a thick, not thick, but like a leather-bound book with like a skull on the cover of it, and says, Gareth, I found this by the table. I think it is hers. I think it contains magic too.
Gareth will nod and indicate that Tessina should take that. And I think that
I wouldn't take that from me if I were you. It might have a nasty surprise.
Thank you for your concern.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we are going to... Let's see. I think I would like try to confer with my people.
Mm-hmm.
Random DM rolling is really scary.
Sorry. So Evelyn has been kind of staring at this woman, and all of a sudden you see her hand flash forward, and the woman screams as Evelyn yanks something out of her hair, and she holds up a key.
Oh, that's awesome.
And says, Sina, is that book locked? And hands the key out. Also, I just realized that I forgot something really important in the last room.
Okay.
Did you guys look at the bodies of the people who fell into the water and who you killed, or not?
Yeah, Gareth has been pretty diligent with checking bodies. Do you want me to do a retroactive investigation check, or do you want me to just find stuff?
Do one retroactive investigation check for me.
I rolled a 1.
With advantage because you have time.
And help.
Okay, that's enough. You did find a ring of keys on the person with the helm. It seems important.
Okay, so I got some keys.
Not sure what they go for. You I didn't have anything else useful looking on him, but you did take some keys.
Cool. Cool. I'm going to say to Crazy Lady, where are the others that you're keeping here?
The other zombies?
The other prisoners, those that you were torturing, those that you were experimenting with.
I mostly stay in here. But if you go, let me see, that way, and then keep going that way, and then there's a door, and then there are at least a few more over there. We've cleaned out quite a bit in the last few days.
Did that make any sense to Gareth? Is she indicating a direction or anything with her eyes?
Oh, sorry. She's kind of gesturing that you go out the way that you came in and then kind of keep going through the dungeon and then turn to the left.
Okay.
She doesn't seem like the most reliable person that you've ever met. You don't think she's lying to you, but her directions aren't.
Yeah.
It seems like she doesn't leave this room very often.
Okay. I'm going to tell her that she can... Okay, so I'm going to say, your little friends can release you after an hour has passed. But if it's before, I'm afraid that I'll have to kill you and your little dead rats.
Be very still. I'll start counting. 1, 2. Can I keep the body? 3,
No.
4, 5.
So I'm going to... gosh, I feel terrible, like, leaving this body here. But we're gonna have to get like an army of clerics to go through this place after we get out of here or something. Like,
Yeah, and I think that Evelyn kind of comes over and tugs at your sleeve. We'll figure that out.
So I'm gonna nod. Is there anything else in this room that seems of interest?
You guys got the big thing here, which was the spell book.
Okay, cool. I think that we're going to go on, and I'm going to say to Tessina, when we get to a place where we're not actively being hunted, then I can tell you more about that.
All right, thank you, Garrett. That sounds good.
Because he's got the identify spell.
Mm-hmm. So, Gareth, you go out of the weird lady's experimentory morgue. And so to your left, as you come back into the hall, is the hall that you just came from. As you go down the hall a little bit, it curves. So to your right, there is a wooden door. And there's a set of stairs and a door at the top of them, which is also wooden.
Okay. I'm going to try this door at the top of the stairs.
Okay. Roll a perception check. What are you looking for?
I want to see if
trying to
this
see if it's
is
locked?
Locked or trapped.
Okay. Roll an investigation check then.
17.
Okay. The door is not locked, and you don't detect any traps.
Okay. I will carefully open the door.
Okay.
Trying to peer inside of it as I open it.
Okay. So the door opens inward onto a wall, and then the hallway opens to the right. It smells pretty bad in here, kind of like rotten eggs and heavy. But you don't see or hear anyone in this room. You do see an altar up ahead to the right.
An altar, and I don't see any people on the walls. Are they the same kind of dungeony construction that they have been?
The same kind of, dungeony walls.
Okay. I'm going to say, Ticina, check that one. And indicate that she should check that door.
Right, do you want to roll for her to
Sure. The investigation?
to check the door?
A whopping 8.
Okay. It seems fine to me. It's open. He starts to open it.
And so we'll look inside.
Okay. Ticina opens the door to hers and goes, "Ugh, there's a rat in here."
I thought you liked rats.
I don't know that one.
Rats that you haven't met before.
Gareth, you appear to the...
Or rats that could be your friends.
We are in a creepy dungeon, so I'm just not sure. Gareth, you open your door. So you see an altar to the right. It looks like the room opens up a bit more, and you also see some steps that go down.
To the right path?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I think that we're going to... I'm going to say to Evelyn and Ticina, do you have a preference?
Evelyn kind of shrugs, and Ticina says, It doesn't really matter to me. Whatever way you think. Which way do you have a better feeling about?
I'm going to... I think that seeing an altar is pretty ominous. And so I definitely think there's more stuff that way. But he's going to kind of come stomping through, and he's going to try to scare the rat away.
Okay.
Is it like a giant rat?
No, it's just a regular sized rat.
Oh, okay. He's going to say...
So it kind of... It's on the wall. Ears.
Okay, we're going to see
And then
what's
you hear
around
a
the
couple
corner.
rocks. Okay, you go around the corner. You're following the rat?
Yeah.
The rat keeps running. You hear it kind of scamper down some stairs, and you hear a small splash.
I say to the ladies, that rat is unusual and weird.
Did it do something interesting? Did it talk to you?
No, but it seems determined to... It seems kind of determined. And I think Gareth is going to kind of like pick up into a jog.
Okay.
And we're going to go to the top of the stairs. Am I looking at like more sewage?
Looking at more sewage with some kind of just speckled crap around. I'm sorry, not like poop. Just like more like there are some stones that are just like not floating, but just kind of, this room looks like it's fallen apart a little bit more than most of the dungeon that you've investigated thus far.
Okay. And do I see that door at the end of the tunnel?
You do see a door at the end of the tunnel.
Do I feel like kind of shimmying through here is going to be safe? It looks really narrow.
It is narrow, but you can make it. You might have to kind of turn and shuffle sideways. It's not necessarily where you'd want to have a fist fight with somebody else. But and it's kind of rocky here. So, and you see like a few pieces look like they've fallen from the ceiling. there aren't any wooden beams through this area, so you think that might be part of the problem. But it doesn't look like it's like immediately in danger of totally falling apart.
Where did you go, rat? And I think Gareth is going to say to the ladies, stay here. And he's going to go to the door.
Okay. Are you looking for the rat, or are you just going to the door?
I think he's kind of looking for the rat.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Perception, coming right up. It is a 3.
Okay.
Dark.
Seems like the rat has disappeared. And Tessine is kind of standing at the edge of the stairs holding the lantern out to help you. So you go to investigate this door.
Yes.
It looks moldy. But other than that, seems pretty okay.
I carefully open it.
Okay. Ba-ba-ba! You stumble upon a room with columns.
Wow.
It's flooded. So 2.5 feet of water, 4 rotting wooden beams rising from the murky water to brace the ceiling. There's rubble piled in the northwest corner of the room.
Rubble piled in the northwest corner. I'm going to... Do I see the rat?
You do not. He seems to have disappeared.
Okay. I'm going to say... I'm going to kind of call back and say... It's probably nothing, but I just have to know. And so he's going to go look in this pile of rubble, and then he's going to see what's down this hall.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for the pile of rubble.
I say to myself, by the flame in the forge. 9 plus 3, so 12.
Okay. You search through the pile of rubble. You find some rocks. Nothing very exciting.
Bunch of crap. And so he's going to look down this hall.
Okay, you look down the hall. This one does look like this is another kind of skinny walled area. You see a sarcophagus up ahead.
Ooh, creepy. So we definitely, Gareth is like feeling a little bit sheepish about, obviously there's no prisoners down here, right? But like also curiosity's got him by the tail right now. And so he's going to say, I guarantee something weird is going to jump out of that thing. So just be ready.
Why are you still going to go over there? Something's going to jump out at you.
I just have to know.
Okay, Gareth. Being just a little bit weird. Everyone just kind of shrugs. They're both being weird.
So I'm going to carefully make my way down the hall, anticipating at any moment a skeleton hand to come over the sarcophagus or something.
No, just kidding. That'd be really exciting. So you hear very dainty kind of footsteps splashing. This is so gross. On the hall behind you. So you splish splash down. The water gets a little bit deeper, so it's like kind of mid-thigh in some places. You're in the skinny hall especially. And you find an open stone sarcophagus resting in the middle of a crypt. Its stone lid is broken in 3 places and is kind of leaned up against the north side of the sarcophagus.
So the sarcophagus lid is broken in 3 places and the sarcophagus is open. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it looks like if somebody had like pushed it and it broke.
Okay. I'm
You go all the
going.
way up to the sarcophagus.
1 second. Let me.
Okay.
I'm going to use thaumaturgy, and I'm going to. I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make the sound of like a rat scream, um,
Okay.
like originating on the edge of the crypt sarcophagus thing.
Okay. Um, you hear a scream echoed, but muffled from behind you, um, and glance behind to see Tessina covering her mouth. But nothing happens inside the room besides you make a fake rat scream. It echoes a bit. It's kind of satisfying, but nothing moves.
Okay, I'm gonna very cautiously approach.
Okay. So exposure to the dampness has rotted the bones in the sarcophagus, reducing them to black sludge. So it's like super moldy and gross. There's like a low level of water beneath the body.
Gross. Okay. I'm going to. Can I tell, like, this crypt, right? Can I tell, the origins of this crypt? Like, is this a royal crypt? Is this a noble crypt? Is this a dwarf? Is this an elf? Is there anything that I can determine?
Okay. Roll a perception check.
hmm 18.
Something with the lid kind of catches your attention. And so as you kind of go around and look at it, you can see that broken into three halves is a picture of a really powerful barbarian type of figure with an axe over their head, screaming. And just the way that the figure is carved is rather androgynous. You can't tell like if this is supposed to be a particular hero or more just kind of a you're not sure who is being depicted here or whose bones these are, but that's at least whose crypt you think that it is. So it does seem to be the tomb of a valiant warrior.
Okay, I'm gonna say over my shoulder, this was a bad mamma jamma. And I'm going to see if there's anything cool in the crypt.
Okay. Um, you disturb the body?
Oh man, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna stick my mace in and try to like move it aside a little bit and see if there's anything.
A ghostly battle axe appears over the crypt and swings at you.
I throw my shield.
Let's see. So Gareth does a 14 hit.
It doesn't. Clang!
So the ghostly battle axe clings off of your shield.
The body doesn't move though, right? And did I determine that there was anything in there or no?
You were pretty distracted by the flinging axe, but you didn't see anything beneath in the murky water.
Okay, I'm gonna say time to go.
Especially your light source is all the way back here. Okay, the battle axe like swings at you as you leave the room, but it doesn't chase you beyond the entryway.
Okay, and I think as we leave, I'm gonna talk to Tessina. I'm just gonna say, I didn't want there to be some weird shambling mummy coming behind us as we went through looking for people.
I'm really glad that you checked part of that. That would have been terrible. Trying to rescue someone and mommy pops out of nowhere and murders them and turns them into a mummy. It's not a good
It would
plan.
be a whole thing. So we will backtrack back
You
to...
promise that you're feeling all right, though?
Will you say that again? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Do you promise that you're feeling all right, though? Worried? Just like medium worried?
I don't know how people can do the things that we've seen them do in this place. I understand that evil exists in the world, but I've never seen it so concentrated. And to think that it's festering just below the surface of our city.
It's true. It's gross.
I would really like to be able to...
Maybe it's good.
I'd really like to be able to bring somebody out of this place.
She kind of points over her shoulder at Evelyn. You already did.
I wish I could have...
And Evelyn kind of smiles back at you. 2 people, then.
I wish I could have helped Maverick.
No.
So with renewed grim determination, we're going to go back to this hall and as sneakily as possible kind of see what's around this corner, and then I think that you and I should take a break.
Okay, perfect. So you guys go back around the hall, and let me get this room revealed to you. So you go back around the hall. The smell of the gas that you guys kind of detected before intensifies. So this room does contain a stone altar with humanoid skulls and bones piled around it. The top of the altar is covered with dozens of half-melted candles made of black wax, all currently unlit. And Gareth, I'm going to have you, while you guys are here, roll a perception check for me with advantage, because Tessine is helping you.
How's a 22 grab you?
Perfect. You have a weird sense about the kind of spiritual nature of this room. Like, it feels like there's something kind of dwelling just out of sight.
Okay. Cool. Creepy.
The place is weird.
No doubt. So I'm going to walk in very cautiously with my shield up and my sign of Vulcan out, and I'm going to see if there's anything else to learn from the altar.
Okay. So you look around. Some of the candles are partially melted, and then some of them look new. There are lots of candles all over the place. But other than that, you don't really see anything.
I'm going to ask Tessina, Tessina, do you know anything about candles and their use in scary situations?
She kind of leans forward and sniffs the black candles. The ones like this are good for spells, especially if you want to, call a spirit or do something kind of dark. You know that the magic depends on the caster, but I would guess that the candles are here to be lit.
Gareth is going to make a gesture, and he's going to use thaumaturgy to light the candles.
Cool. And so as you do that, the puppy visitor.
Yeah, I think
As
he
you
needs to
do
go
that, hey
outside.
bud. Okay, we'll go in 1 second. As you do that, Tessina's kind of mumbling, I don't know if it's going to necessarily be a good idea um, for us to light all the candles. And so you, thaumaturgy, how many do you light?
I think I would just light all of them.
Oh, wow. This all the black candles, all these like green flames kind of glow to life in the room. And on the wall behind the altar, you see this dark, dark purpley red, rise and be counted, written in all caps in common.
Rise and be counted.
Mm-hmm. With an exclamation point.
Scary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you want to pause there?
Yes.
Okay.
Pause there with the sketchy candles.
So, Tales of Eldura will be right back after a short break. 10 minutes. We'll be back at 9:04. We'll be back at 9:04 Eastern Time.
Perfect.
And we're back. Tales of Eldura.
Ooh. So just before our break, as a review, we found a room with a crypt, an altar to probably the god of undeath, Zarmev, with skulls and bones kind of around the altar. And Gareth thaumaturgied all the candles lit, and on the wall, in all caps, in a dark, dark red, the word "rise and be counted" appeared.
So as that happens, do I hear or see any skeletons start like bursting through the walls or anything?
So you kind of hold your breath and wait for that to happen. Candles flicker, but nothing happens.
What do you think it means?
That on the wall?
Mm-hmm. Probably not good, right?
Probably not great.
Can I make sure I didn't miss anything on the altar or check the, you said the letters that popped up are in common? And it's like a purple, fiery kind of lettering on the wall?
It's a dark, dark red, purpley color. Quite dried blood, but because there's more purple than that.
Okay. I'm going to double check the altar and the see if anything changed about the altar. And then is this like rubble that's behind me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to kind of do a final check of the area and then kind of shrug and go down the steps.
Gareth? Perception check while you check.
A whopping 8.
Okay. What do you think that rise and be counted means? As Tessina says those words.
Aha.
Oops.
Ah.
Skeletons roar to life from amidst the rubble.
Come on, Ticina.
And they all three... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, as they kind of like start to appear, Gareth is going to turn around and try to push Tessina behind him, and he's going to turn undead.
Cool. Your turn undead feature work?
So... I'm going to throw my shield up, and I'm going to say, Vulcan compels you, be gone! And the sign of Vulcan flashes on Gareth's shield, and a bright, fiery light kind of shoots out. And so they each need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
My DC is a whopping 12. So that's pretty serious.
Somehow they all three rolled a 15. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So Gareth, you turn undead. Why are you being so popular?
We're so crazy.
You turn undead. The three skeletons kind of like cower back for a second and then return, and you see them kind of like peering weirdly, almost like they're trying to see the person who's behind you. And you feel two hands on your shoulders as Tessina kind of pokes her head out over your shoulders, and then all three skeletons are looking at her head.
Ah, like she's got in charge of them. What is this D17?
Oh, that's the room you're in. I accidentally brought it up into the token layer too.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's not. I meant to just get the skeletons. I didn't realize that I had it too. Sorry.
It's okay. Gareth is going to say, after just a moment when they don't like lurch out and attack, he's going to say to Tessina, "It looks like you've got some friends."
I am really friendly. What should we do with them?
Excuse me. Gareth is going to say, "I think they'll make excellent scouts."
Okay. Skeletons, scout. And so they kind of hitch themselves up, march down.
I'm imagining them very much like the priests in The Mummy.
Like the super epic ones, or like they can leap everywhere, or that just kind of like follow the thing?
I guess more the soldiers that are like just marching down the...
I think that's a good visual.
Yeah, and we're gonna follow too at a distance, somewhat of a distance, but Gareth definitely wants to keep an eye on them.
Okay.
Our dog is being really loud.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody, we're really sorry about Buck. There were motorcycles outside when we went to potty, and we haven't recovered. And we have a chew bone. Okay, so, Gareth, you remember that this is one of the rooms that smelled really bad?
Yes.
And that's especially clear as you go closer. So you know that this is, you kind of get the sense, and you have trained enough with kind of odors and just materials of this sort to know that this is flammable gas. But so long as you guys have the kind of hooded lantern that's totally secured, you're going to be okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as they go marching through, I would ask Tessina to, keep them moving ahead, and we're gonna follow. Gareth is definitely going to peek into. Is this another like 2 foot deep water situation?
As you go in, the water gets to about 2.5 feet deep. And you see some rubble up ahead of you. This is one of the largest chambers that you've been in.
Mm-hmm.
There is a door. So you come in, you go down a set of stairs, down another set of stairs. There's a door to the left as you come in.
Mm-hmm. And we figure that leads back into Maverick's chamber.
Or if you opened it, you would figure out that led back to Maverick's chamber. There are the pillars through this room as well. The stench is really terrible, so most people are kind of walking with their hands over their noses. The skeletons do not go into the kind of farther reaches of the chamber. They go right around the corner in their march ahead.
Okay. Gareth is going to see if there's anything interesting in this rubble before catching up with them.
Okay, Gareth, roll a perception check.
By the flame of the forge. 17 plus 3 is 20.
You don't really find anything that's super exciting. You see some scorch marks on the walls where you would guess somebody maybe wasn't as careful with a torch or a lantern, and it looks like caused a small explosion. But it looks like it also certainly could have been worse, as it might be able to bring down the whole room.
Okay. Cool. I'm feeling pretty positively about being able to potentially bring this place down if we need to. So we'll keep on. We're going to follow the skeletons, and I'd ask Tessina to send them on.
Okay. Keep scouting, skeletons. So skeletons keep on ahead. They kind of clop, 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 clop through the water, up a set of stairs. And then do you want them to just keep going?
Yeah. I think so.
So they keep going, and they come upon a long hallway.
Ooh. So
unless you stop them, the skeletons are going to just like walk to the end of the hallway.
Okay. I think that we would actually stop them before they got that far, and maybe one in front of each of the doors to the south.
Okay. Sorry, so you come upon a long hallway that has 3 openings on the right and 2 openings on the left. 4 openings on the right, 2 openings on the left. The first opening on the right as well as on the left is just a kind of collapsed hall of some sort. You're not sure if this was just a part that they decided not to dig out, or this is where they left some of the rubble, or something else, but it's just kind of both of these spots. There's nothing really going on.
Okay.
You have a skeleton posted in front of each of the 3 doors to the south. Let me grab your companions. Okay. Where would you like to investigate next, Gareth?
I think that I'll ask Tessina, what do you think? Do we just send them in? See what happens?
How good do you think they are with doorknobs?
I'm sure I don't know. See if the one closest to me can open that door.
We can... Okay. Skeleton, open the door. So the skeleton kind of fumbles for a second, pushes down on the door handle, opens the door. Are you looking in behind him?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let me move to Sina. She's going to be right here, so that way you can be wherever you would like to be. Side of this room, you find a sarcophagus that is in a partially collapsed chamber that looks like it got rifled through quite a while ago.
Okay. We'll send that skeleton maybe to this door on the north, and Gareth is going to... I think Gareth is going to put himself in the middle here And perhaps Evelyn can see if there's anything of interest in this little room as this skeleton goes through his door.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed which skeleton. The second skeleton for the door on for the southern door. So the second skeleton opens his door. Do you go in with him?
Yeah, I think he would pop his head in.
Okay. You see another crypt in this room, and you guess that probably all three of these rooms share a similar pattern.
Yeah.
This one does not look quite as disturbed as the first one. And so there is an open sarcophagus at the back of this dusty crypt. Its heavy stone lid lying on its side between the sarcophagus and the south wall. The north-facing side of the sarcophagus bears faded frescoes of spear-wielding warriors charging across golden plains on horseback.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look inside the sarcophagus, so I will go and see what's going on with that.
Okay. Would you say that you're doing how closely are you searching the sarcophagus?
I think that he would peek inside and see if there's anything interesting, and if he had to move. I mean, he's not gonna pitch a body out or anything, but he'd move something to the side if he needed to. Would this be an investigation check?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to roll with advantage because you're taking a little while and you have a skeleton nearby who's not helping, but they are standing guard?
How about a whopping 11?
Okay. 11, that's enough. Do you give yourself a blessing?
I'd probably say by the flame in the forge.
So you were able to tell, at least kind of with your 11, that the skeleton has very shiny eye, the mummy has very shiny eyes, and you find 2 moonstones embedded in its eye sockets.
2 moonstones embedded in its eye sockets.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, I did this wrong. Sorry. So you find kind of beneath the mummy a body hidden under an inch of plaster somehow. Yeah, the sarcophagus has a false bottom. Under an inch of plaster, you find a human mummy, and so as you kind of break through, you see something glittery break through, and then you see 2 shiny eyes staring back at you from 2 moonstones. Do you investigate further?
I'm ready for this thing to jump up at me, but I'm going to try to take those moonstones.
Okay. Do you want to roll a dexterity check?
You're the DM, you tell me.
Roll a dexterity check.
Yes, ma'am. Oh.
I'm just kidding. You didn't really, you snatch those moonstones. It's probably the most dexterous thing you've ever done. Garrett doesn't know he rolled a 3. 2 moonstones worth 50 GP each.
Thank you.
Do you keep investigating?
This same sarcophagus?
Mm-hmm.
Does Garrett think that he's gotten to the bottom of it?
You found the false bottom.
Yeah, I think that he'd be...
You found a body.
I think he'd be satisfied.
Okay. So out you go.
Out we go. Did Evelyn check out her room?
She did. She kind of brushes her hands off. There's nothing in there.
I got 2 moonstones.
Garrett, those are so pretty. Are you going to make some earrings?
Maybe. And we're going to go out here, and we're going to go see about... Yeah, maybe we can put that skeleton at this door, and we'll see about this guy down here.
Okay. So this final skeleton opens his door. Just give me 1 second. Where are these guys?
Ah. So gross. Ooh. Ooh.
So this skeleton opens his door, and Gareth, you can see from standing over his shoulder. I'm going to move you forward a little bit if that's okay. Oh, it won't let me. I'm on the wrong layer. Crap. You can see kind of standing over his shoulder that there are 4 zombies milling around inside. So they kind of like turn. What do you do?
I'll shut the door.
Idea. Okay, roll a dexterity check.
Okay, dexterity check. Coming right up. 11.
Okay, that's enough. So you kind of lean around the skeleton, slam the door back shut. The zombies, you hear some like against the door, but they aren't able to quite work out the handle situation from inside of their sarcophagus.
I think that we'll leave the skeleton here, kind of guarding this door.
Okay.
And say,
skeleton, stay right there.
Athena, Evelyn, are you ready to try the north?
I'm ready. And open the door. There's nothing behind that one. It's just a room of rubble. It doesn't even have a description. Skeleton, close the door.
Cool. So that's good to know. Maybe we can put him over here and we'll have one skeleton throw open the door and this skeleton lead the way through.
Wait, so you want this skeleton to lead?
Yeah, one throwing up in the door and one walking through it.
Okay, so you want the skeletons to both go first. And this other skeleton is supervising the zombies.
Yes.
Okay, so it's kind of a kind of a groan. The skeleton opens the door, and you find a room with 2 bodies hanging inside of it, kind of chained to the wall.
Goodness gracious.
Both with their heads down.
And they look, are they dressed? Do they have like beacon robes on? Do they have brigade clothing?
The walls and floor of this room are covered with streaks and splashes of dried blood. 2 dangling bodies are shackled to the east and south walls. One is an elderly male human, the other a young female Nagata. Both are covered in bloody gashes and neither is moving. In the middle of the room is a sturdy wooden chair with a bloody whip draped over it. A bucket half filled with salt sits on the floor nearby.
How terrible.
Yeah.
I'm going to check them to see if they're alive, and before I do, I'll say, by the flame in the forge!
Okay. Make a medicine check.
Medicine check. 7.
Okay.
Plus 2 is 9.
Cool. So you check the old man. He is dead. You check the purple Nagata woman with like really pretty horns kind of tilting back towards the back of her head, although the tip of one is cracked. She might be alive.
I think that Gareth is pretty moved by this situation. Is she manacled to the wall above her head? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he would tilt some of his last potion of healing into her mouth.
Okay. Roll your 2d4 plus 2.
So 5 plus 2 is 7.
Okay. So Gareth, you very gently kind of tilt this potion into this woman's mouth, and her eyelids kind of flutter for a second, and they open, and she goes, and kind of slinks back away from you as best she can.
Okay. I'm gonna say, don't be afraid. We're here to help. And then I'm going to see if the one of the keys on the keyring can help with the manacle situation.
Cool. So it takes you a second and you kind of tinker with a couple different keys, but the third key that you try is able to kind of clink, clink, and it unleashes the manacles around her hands. And Tessina and Evelyn are right there to help you, and so they kind of catch her and gently set her inside the room on the chair.
Okay. Yeah, we'll move the whip and the salt. Is there anything special about this whip?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation. 11.
It looks like it's been used to torture people.
Gross. So as we kind of get her situated, let's say Gareth's going to say, he's going to offer her some water, and he's going to say, when you can, who are you? How did you come to be here? What did they want from you?
My name is Vendetta.
I love that Nagata name.
Right. I am from a little outside of the city of Beacon, and they killed this man earlier today. I think it was today. They captured me from outside of the city walls, and I woke up here. I did not have the information they wanted to know. But
what did they ask you?
They wanted to know about the Army of Light. But I do not serve in the army. I'm just a person from Beacon. I ran when I saw the sun darken, and it was scary enough to lose my home. She looks really upset, and Tessina kind of takes a minute to comfort her, and Evelyn looks really mad.
Gareth is going to say, we're going to get you out of here, and as best we can, we're going to find some kind of retribution for what you've been through. But
she kind of glances at the skeletons. You're not with them.
No, we're going to stop them. Do you know where the people who did this to you are?
She kind of points at the door, not the one that you guys came through, but the one to the north. They've been coming through there.
Do you have any idea how many?
I've seen at least 3 or 4. I'm sorry, they started to look alike after a while.
Do not be sorry. We need to make sure that they can't hurt anyone else, and so we need to deal with them before we take you out of here. Do you understand that?
I have to stay here.
You can come with us if you like. Stay far back, but we can't just immediately leave.
Okay. Evelyn kind of picks up the whip after kind of looking at it for a second and holds it out to her. And she kind of regards it for a second, and shakes her head, and Evelyn hands her a dagger instead, which she accepts.
Cool. I think that I would make sure that she understood that these skeletons that are in there are with us and not a concern. And then I would ask, do you have any idea who this unfortunate soul is, indicating the man that's still hanging?
I think he was a refugee, but I don't know. I'm sorry. He didn't do a lot of talking. They asked him similar questions. More about how he got to the city, who was helping him, who was sheltering him here. Something about it being illegal? I don't know. It didn't make very much sense.
Can I give a once-over on the guy's body and see if there's anything remarkable or anything that stands out about him?
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
By the flame in the forge. Oh, I'm so bad at these. So 9 total.
Okay. You see the same sorts of cuts on him that you saw on Evelyn. And they look similar to how you've seen enough people who they've been experimenting on with these dark stones. It seems like her wounds look worse than, for example, Maverick's did with the same looking weapon. Like they almost have rusted along the sides of the cuts in a way that they shouldn't. Go on up here. You'll be fine. Here you go. Sorry, it's very distressing to be a silly yellow lab. You wouldn't think so.
We need
anyway.
all kinds of attention.
So other than that, you can't really tell.
Okay. I think that I would try to take him down so that he's not just hanging there.
Okay.
And I would kind of, whatever way I could find to, as respectfully as possible, deal with his dead body before turning our attention to this door to the north. And kind of saying to Tessina, I think we're nearing a conflict, so...
Did I get the other one?
I don't want those zombies coming back behind us.
Do they know how to open doors?
I don't know.
What if we take this sketchy chair and just stick it under? We'll take the sketchy chair and we block to where they can't open the door.
Genius.
Thank you.
So we'll get that situated and collect our skeleton friend.
Go on in there. And so the skeleton pops into the room. You have a wall of skeletons. You have a respectfully laid out dead body. It's kind of confusing. Okay. And all of your people.
Perfect. I think that we're going to get ready as much as possible and open this door and see what's on the other side.
Okay. Do you fling open the door?
We fling it open.
You fling open the door to see a person who's kind of leaning towards the door. They fly back and they start running down the hall.
I'm going to try to grab them.
Okay. There are a lot of people between you and them.
I mean, if I could, I would shove the skeleton aside and try to snatch this guy.
Okay. Make a dexterity check.
My dexterity is awful. 3.
Okay, he rolled a nat 1. So you grab him.
I think I would just grab him
Let
and
me
try
pull his
to...
stat sheet really fast. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
what do you want to do?
I would grab them and toss them back into the room. And then, if possible, maybe grab them and we just had those manacles open, so maybe manacle them to the wall.
Awesome. And he's kind of like struggling against. Make one strength check for me,
Yeah.
Gareth, just to see kind of how easy it is.
Is this, can this be athletics?
Yes, that's fine.
15.
Nice. This guy is pretty strong as he's kind of struggling against you, but you're able to subdue him. And Evelyn kind of helps you, kind of jabs him in the side. And you guys manacle him to the wall.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And then
That was a cool thing.
as since he's manacled to the wall, Gareth is going to grab his mace and say, "What are you doing here? Why are you? What are you doing here? Why are you torturing these people?" And threaten to bludgeon him with the mace.
He kind of glares back at you and says, "Form Rekka's will."
What does Rekka want in respite?
It's fall.
Interesting. What is... how are the people from Beacon involved?
Roll a persuasion or intimidation check.
I'll do intimidation. 22.
So he kind of like shambles back away from you, and Tessina has moved Vendetta farther away from this person and has taken her kind of down the hall a little bit so that she doesn't have to be near Sketcho. So they're right down the hall, if that's okay with you. And Evelyn's going to help you with the questioning. I'm going to stick this guy against the wall. You asked him what the people with Beacon have to do with it.
Uh-huh.
And he kind of glares back at you and says, "You don't belong here."
I think that Gareth is pretty pissed off, and I think that he's going to work the body a little bit. And I think that he's, like, as he is punching this dude, I think that he's going to be saying, "Maverick is from here. Maverick wanted to make this place better." And, like, he's just kind of taking out some of his frustration on dude.
Okay, do you want to roll some unarmed strikes?
I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
Roll some unarmed strikes. I'm just asking if you want to do that or if you're using your mace.
Yeah, I think that he's not using his mace for this. I imagine these are with advantage since he's restrained on the wall.
Whew.
So pretty good.
Okay, so I'm seeing a 23 and a 19 with 8 points of damage. Is that right? Perfect. So, yeah, you, this guy, and he, oh, sorry, let me mark his health really fast. So he starts to look pretty close to looking rough, and he kind of... And you see like a little bit of blood like kind of splatter along his lips. Maverick was questioning into things that are none of his business.
I think that gets him another punch.
Okay.
22. And I think that Gareth is going to say, "Are there other prisoners? Where are the rest of your friends, scum?"
Let me just double check really fast so I make sure he doesn't tell you the wrong thing. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, they're prisoners this way. And he kind of inclines the door that you just drug him through with his head.
He said no other prisoners?
Yeah. and kind of nods his head to the side, or I guess back behind himself. Everybody else is through there.
Cool. So Gareth is going to see if these skeletons can, like, press up on this guy and, like, uncomfortably close, like, scary near him. And he's going to try to have a quick word with Evelyn.
Okay. Cool. So the skeletons surround him and he kind of, ooh! And Evelyn kind of walks over to you and she looks furious.
Garrett's going to say, what do you want to do with him?
Kill him. What do you want to do with him?
I'm wondering if we can use him as some kind of leverage. I can't imagine that these Braymorn cultists highly value...
He's a Rekka cultist.
Lies and deceit. I can't imagine that these cultists would highly value his life, but maybe it would give us some kind of advantage. I think that we're walking towards quite a throwdown.
I think so too. I'm also wondering if we can avoid part of said throwdown.
Do you have something in mind?
They have to all be staying somewhere, don't they?
Yes.
So maybe we get him to tell us where most of them are, and we don't go that way.
Have you noticed these wooden pillars holding up significant chunks of this creepy dungeon?
Yes.
What if we found out where they were and brought it down?
I love that idea.
Okay, so we're going to turn back to douchebag hanging on the wall and say,
Same.
tell us specifically where your kids are at!
And Evelyn is going to help you by kind of flinging her hand axe around and bringing it up really close to Guy's finger and then kind of sliding it down next to his hand. Sorry, throat to hand. Roll an intimidation check with advantage, Gareth.
22.
I see a 22. Nice. Okay. You go down the hall. Don't take the door to the left. That's where their rooms are. You go down the stairs and up the stairs. Most of them are asleep. They stay in the crypts. But then there's the door in the wall. There are more that way, but most of them are asleep.
And you're sure there are no other prisoners with them?
Yes. You don't take them in those crypts.
I think Gareth nods and, like, moves like he's going to walk away, but then he's going to turn around and just, like, headbutt him.
Okay.
And try to knock him out.
Cool. Make an unarmed strike attack.
$22.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think that's enough to do it. So he kind of slumps back down against the wall with a small cut on his head from your head.
Cool. I imagine getting headbutted by a half-orc would be an unpleasant experience.
I think getting headbutted by anyone would be an unpleasant experience.
Yeah. Cool. So I say to Evelyn, are you ready to bring this down?
So ready.
So we're going to gather up our people, and we're going to be very carefully. We're going to be as stealthy as possible, and
Good.
we're going to be moving through the hall. This, whatever your green square is here, makes me nervous.
Sorry, let me explain that to you really fast. So there is a door. So I wanted to make sure you would see it.
Okay.
I thought it'd be easier to see it if it was green instead of if it being brown. So that's a door. That was the door to the left, the thing I was talking about. The tunnel turns to the right. Sorry, so you leave the room, go down a set of stairs. There's a door on your left, a stone door. It blends into the wall, but now that you know, the guy pointed out, it's right there. The tunnel turns to the right. There's a set of stairs that leads up to more of those crypt-looking doors like you saw before with the kind of rounded tops.
Okay. And Gareth would know, but I was a little bit unsure. He said that they are through the secret door, right?
He said that there are some people sleeping if you go up the stairs, and there are more people through the secret door.
Okay. So I think that we should, I think we're going to do two things. We're going to set a little bit of an ambush for anybody taking this path. So whether that looks like some skeletons or something, like waiting for people to rush through here. But I think that Evelyn and I are going to concentrate our efforts going through this secret door and seeing if we can get some of those pillars, and seeing if there's a way that we can, like we talked about, just bring down the building and crush them. Like, just collapse the chamber.
Okay, so that's only going to collapse the chamber where the pillars are. It's not going to affect the people who aren't in that room.
Right.
And it might collapse on the two of you.
Right, and so we just need to go through this secret door and see what's on the other side as quietly as possible. That's what we need to do next.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
I am terrible at stealth, but I will
and you want
say...
the skeletons... You want the skeletons on the stairs?
Yeah, or maybe even ready to, like at these doors in case somebody comes running through. I see
doors?
3 doors.
Okay.
And I'll say, by the flame in the forge. So 13 plus 1 is 14 for my stealth check.
Yay, that's not that bad.
It's pretty good for Gareth.
Okay. So you kind of the stone door, and you look at another room that does have the wooden pillars inside of it, and it is also flooded.
And
Gareth, roll a perception check for me.
Okay. 7.
With advantage because Evelyn is helping you. Let me get her up there.
16.
Cool. You hear what sounds like the echoes of a fight.
Oh.
So you hear like swords clanging and some distress up ahead of you.
Okay. Weird. Directly north, or is it coming from the east?
North.
And I don't see anything?
You see more of those. You see that a pillar room. It's pretty large, so it opens up further ahead. You see some rubble, and it curves to the left.
Okay. Evelyn and I are gonna sneak in and peek around this corner and see what's on this corner.
You found a door.
Okay.
There.
And there's not fighting coming from behind that door.
Mm-mm. It's coming from up ahead of you and to the left.
Okay, we're gonna creep up here and we're gonna take a peek. And I think that I'm gonna whisper to Evelyn, be ready to run and hit these pillars on your way out.
Okay.
So we're just going to take a sneaky peek around the corner. Get your bone.
All right, you peek around the corner. I'm going to reveal most of this room, and then let me tell you about what you can see. But this way, it'll just be easier. So you, Gareth, peek around the corner. Roll a perception check.
20.
Perfect. Okay. You see a hooded man and someone in really fine-looking leather armor kind of fighting with one another, and you see the bodies of 4 cultists floating in the water.
So a hooded man and somebody that looks fancy.
Mm-hmm.
And
some sort of fancy gentleman.
Interesting. Okay. And oh gosh. All right. Does Evelyn react to seeing this person?
The hooded person or the fancy person?
Gentleman.
Yes. And so she kind of whispers in your ear, Mortlock.
Who is it?
Mortlock.
Mortlock.
Gareth, roll a history check.
History check coming up. 13.
Oh. Sorry, let me pull up the thing. That's enough. So, where? Okay. I was trying to find my thing with the organizations in respite. I want to make sure I tell you the right person.
With the handout?
Sorry, I didn't mean to slow us down like right at this important moment. Okay, so Mortlock is you've heard his name associated at least with the Consulate of Nobles, as someone who's been seen and is known to work with Eliza. Let's see, Eliza Seymour. I have a typo on my sheet. So, Eliza Seymour, who is the head of the Consulate of Nobles, who serves on the Council of 4. So, if you remember, for Respite, there are 4 primary political organizations. One of them being the Consulate of Nobles, and so the nobles will basically make a decision and then send Eliza as their representative to make decisions on the Council of 4. And so it's that council that makes the largest decisions for the city.
Okay.
And so these two men are kind of like battling back and forth.
Okay. And I guess.
And I think. Sorry, what do you want to do, Gareth?
Oh, I would think that Gareth is going to try to spring into action, and he will move forward a little bit and see if he can take a shot with his crossbow at the hooded guy fighting Mortlock.
Okay. So I'm actually going to stop us here so that I can make sure that we have time to like let events unfold as they're going to there. Is that okay?
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we're going to stop with Gareth poised to attack a hooded person fighting this fancy gentleman. And then we'll see what unfurls from there.
Wow. So, goodness gracious. How scary.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, it's like, it's 10. I know we should like probably not start a big combat at 10, but it just makes me want to play all the more.
I know. I'm sorry.
And Buck is...
I just want to make sure it's like really fresh, and he's being kind of annoying.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Buck
everybody.
is being annoying.
He's so cute.
He's really
but he's
cute.
so chatty.
But he's really needy. And really chatty. Aww.
Oh, with his little chew bone.
What a nut.
Just wants you to play with it.
Okay, cool. So, wow, we weren't expecting that guy to be down here. And good thing most of our skeleton army and Tessina and everybody else is super far behind. What could possibly go wrong?
I can catch Tessina up with you.
I think that Tessina, yeah, she'd be in the back, but I think that she'd be nearish us, probably. Probably.
Yeah. And she doesn't want to get left behind.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, DM honey.
Cool. You're so welcome.
And we'd be remiss also if we didn't thank our wonderful patrons who support our creation of video content. And if you're interested in continuing to support our work or in more of our work, check us out on dndduet.com and patreon.com/GroveGuardianPress. Yeah. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Have a beautiful rest of the evening, and we'll see you next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch.
Amen.